That means the old programming is cracking. You may feel resistance. Good. That means you're interrupting the old vibration. But speak anyway. Speak through it. Speak until the sentence becomes more familiar than your fear. I tell you the truth. The outer world always conforms to the inner word. If you reprogram your subconscious to believe that money flows to you, then the world must obey. Doors must open. Delays must dissolve. Avenues of abundance must appear, not by your might, but by your mouth. This is your sacred task now, not to figure out the how, not to chase opportunity, but to speak with conviction until your subconscious believes fully, deeply, and permanently that money finds you without resistance. And once the mind is reprogrammed, you will no longer strain. You will no longer ask whether it's working. You will expect supply just as naturally as you expect the sun to rise. Because you've spoken it long enough to know, your word is law. Now, let us move into the challenge, your 7-day test of obedience, faith, and spoken dominion. Now that you have received the truth, you are no longer a seeker, you are a speaker. You are no longer a questioner, you are a commander. And so I now place before you a sacred challenge, not to test your worthiness, but to activate your authority. For the next 7 consecutive days, you will speak this sentence, morning and night, without excuse, without doubt, without delay. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right now reach me in great avalanches of abundance. You will say it with breath. You will say it with rhythm. You will say it aloud, not in your head, not in theory, but aloud, where the air receives it, where the vibration is sent, where the law is activated. Each morning, before the world rushes in, you will pause and speak these words, as law. You will declare them not like a beggar asking for mercy, but like a spiritual sovereign issuing command. And each night, before you cross the threshold into sleep, you will speak again, sealing your subconscious with divine supply. This is not a mantra, this is not a charm, this is a lawful decree. Spoken daily, it will begin to shift the invisible, and the invisible governs the visible. What you see today is only the echo of words you've spoken in the past. If you want new results, new inflows, new money, new manifestations, you must speak a new vibration. For these 7 days, you are forbidden from speaking lack. You will not say, "I'm broke." You will not complain about money. You will not repeat the language of fear, debt, or delay. Your tongue belongs to Spirit now. Your words are the construction crew of heaven, and I make this promise to you as surely as divine law is exact. If you speak this sentence faithfully for 7 nights and 7 mornings, without contradiction, with reverence and rhythm, something will shift. You may receive a check, a debt forgiven, a job offer, a refund, a creative idea that changes everything. You do not need to know how. You need only to be faithful to the command. Do not ask, "Is it working?" That question reveals disbelief. It must work. Law cannot lie. Spirit does not forget. Your word never returns void. You do not speak to make something happen. You speak because it already has. Let each day become more confident. Let each night become more surrendered. Let your voice become more aligned, more sure, more rhythmic. And do not just say it, feel it. Feel the avalanche as you speak it. Picture the floodgates of wealth opening. Hear the sound of money flowing in. Smell the air of provision. Let your whole being agree. This challenge is not about money. It is about alignment. It is about trust. It is about becoming the person who commands wealth because they have become wealth in vibration. So take this seriously. Treat it as sacred. Write the sentence, post it, carry it, speak it, and record what happens. Because when you speak truth, life rearranges itself to obey you. Say aloud now, "I accept the 7-day challenge. I commit to speaking this sentence morning and night. I expect divine demonstration, and I trust the law. You have now accepted your role as a divine commander. You have crossed from doubt to dominion, and now prepare for the return. For what you have spoken is already on its way to you. Next, we shall seal your command with rhythm, with fire, and with spiritual finality through the rapid-fire affirmation sequence. Now we seal the work, we anchor the law, we engrave the truth upon the subconscious. These affirmations are not wishes, they are spiritual decrees. Speak them aloud, slowly, rhythmically. Let each word pass through your body like electricity. Let your tongue become a rod of divine power and your voice a trumpet of heavenly order. Say them now and say them boldly. Money comes to me swiftly, easily, and continuously. You are no longer chasing money. It comes to you. The chase is over. The struggle is ended. You have spoken your alignment, and now you receive with grace. I command divine supply, and it appears under grace in perfect ways. You are no longer begging. You are commanding. You are no longer waiting. You are receiving. Grace brings it gently. Law brings it precisely. Spirit brings it on time. I am in perfect harmony with all the wealth that belongs to me by divine right. There is no conflict, no guilt, no confusion. What is yours cannot be taken. What is yours does not belong to another. You receive it fully, freely, and lawfully. I walk in rhythm with abundance. I speak, and money moves. No longer do you guess. You know. You walk as one who is heard in heaven. You speak, and the gears of provision begin to turn. Infinite Spirit now opens every channel. My sentence has been spoken. My demonstration is certain. It is done. The sentence has left your lips and entered the machinery of spiritual law. The manifestation is no longer optional. It is inevitable. Now the final seal, say it with fire. My word is law. Money finds me. It is already done. Pause. Breathe. Let it settle in your bones. This is no longer a theory. This is your identity. You have become the word. You have become the channel. You have become the authority. And now, with the truth anchored, you are ready for the sacred invitation, the soft, spiritual call to continue walking this path, not as a seeker, but as a speaker of law. Now that you've spoken the law, now that you've received the sentence, now that you've accepted the 7-day command, you must not vanish back into forgetfulness. Divine law requires consistency. The subconscious mind requires reinforcement, and your spirit, having been stirred, now requires rhythm to sustain its rise. So I invite you, not as a follower, but as a fellow speaker of truth, to remain anchored in this vibration. Comment below and speak your decree into this space of power. Say, I speak the sentence, and money finds me now, not for attention, but for anchoring, for confirmation, for spiritual finality. If this word has awakened something in you, if your soul is now moving, if your mind is being reprogrammed, then remain close to the source of truth. Subscribe not for entertainment, but for alignment. Let each new teaching be another stone in your foundation. Let each rhythm of truth you hear keep you walking in law, not in fear. Come back often. Rewatch this 7-day challenge. Speak the sentence again and again until your results make you unshakable. And when your demonstration appears, and it will, return and share it, for your testimony becomes someone else's turning point. You are no longer the one who waits. You are no longer the one who wonders. You are now the one who speaks, the one who commands, the one who receives. You are now walking in spiritual dominion. And so it is.
You were never meant to chase money. You were never meant to strain, grasp, or barter your soul to barely keep afloat. That belief, that wealth is a scarce reward for hard labor or rare luck is not divine law. It is hypnotism. And today I come to break the spell. You are not a beggar. You are not a gambler hoping for favor. You are the living vessel of infinite supply. Your good is not out there, dangling beyond reach. Your wealth is not held back by the economy, your background, your education, or your past. It is held only by your belief. I speak to the part of you that has been quietly suffering, the one who believes they must earn worthiness, deserve support, or prove themselves before abundance arrives. That voice is not of God. That voice is not of truth. It is the voice of collective illusion, but I come bearing a higher tone, a rhythm of certainty, a frequency of divine provision. The moment you align your word with truth, the substance of wealth begins to form, not by might, not by manipulation, but by spiritual law. You do not draw wealth by worry. You do not unlock prosperity through panic. You command it by declaring your oneness with the source. Your mind has been trained to scan for lack, to monitor the absence of money, the delay of results, the rising fear that it may never change. But that training is not fixed. It is not law. It is simply repetition. And what was trained by fear can now be retrained by truth. You are not a servant of money. You are the master of it when you walk in divine identity. When your words align with the vibration of spirit, money must appear, not as a favor, but as a reflection, not as a transaction, but as a demonstration. So I say to you now, in the authority of spiritual law, your wealth is not waiting in the world. It is waiting in your word. Your bank account cannot reveal what you have not declared. Your job cannot deliver what your soul has not claimed. Your circumstances are not supply. They are the result of your consciousness of supply. Train the mind, and the world rearranges. Align the word, and substance rushes to meet it. I speak from experience. I have seen the tide of wealth turn with a single declaration. I have watched the gates of supply open in response to one bold word of faith. I have seen the miraculous become ordinary when someone dared to say, I no longer chase money. I attract it. I magnetize it. I speak it. And because I do, it comes. This is not a game of luck. This is a science of spirit, a spiritual system governed by exact law, a law that never fails when spoken in faith. So prepare yourself, for in the next 30 minutes, I will teach you to train your mind, not through willpower or effort, but through spiritual dominion. I will show you how to speak in rhythm with abundance, how to dissolve the patterns of poverty, and how to open your storehouse of divine wealth. This is not theory. This is truth. This is not motivation. This is law. And if you walk with me, if you declare what I instruct, believe what I reveal, and act as one who already receives, then your wealth will no longer be a question. It will be a consequence. Are you ready? Then let us begin. Wealth is not a reward. Wealth is not a prize at the end of effort. Wealth is law, and law does not require emotion, struggle, or worthiness. It requires agreement. You cannot earn spiritual supply, for it was already yours before you were born. What you call money is only the visible form of an invisible truth, and that truth is this: God is your supply, not your employer, not your family, not your talent. God alone is your source, and every stream, every channel, every manifestation of wealth must obey that truth when you speak it with authority. This is the law of prosperity. It is not a wish. It is not a hope. It is a divine structure, a covenant that cannot be broken. The law of prosperity states that what you affirm in spirit must appear in substance. When you declare your wealth in faith, the vibration is set and the manifestation begins. But the law does not move until you speak. It does not rearrange until you declare. There is no wealth without word, no abundance without affirmation, no prosperity without possession of thought. You must take it in the invisible before it appears in the visible. Let us also remember the law of substitution. This is the law that governs thought. It states that you cannot think two thoughts at once. If you are thinking of lack, you cannot simultaneously think of abundance. Therefore, to eliminate poverty, you do not fight it. You replace it. You substitute the thought. You deny the appearance. You install the truth. When fear of bills rises, you do not spiral. You declare, every bill is paid by divine supply. When doubt whispers, you'll never have enough, you answer, my wealth is unlimited, for God is my inexhaustible source. And the law obeys your higher thought. What you dwell upon grows. What you fear, you feed. What you declare, you demonstrate. There is no neutral ground in spirit. Every word is a seed, and every thought is soil. You cannot declare abundance in the morning and worry about money by noon and expect results. That is double-mindedness. And the scripture says clearly, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you must become single-minded in wealth. You must become loyal to your declaration. You must choose the vibration of riches and deny the suggestion of lack, not once, but constantly, rhythmically, boldly. Now hear the word. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Do you see? The very nature of divine guidance is provision. If God is leading, then lack cannot follow. Want is not part of the divine equation. So if you are living in constant financial strain, it is not because you are cursed. It is because your mind has not been trained to expect supply. Your words have not yet taken root in truth. But that ends today. For the moment you say, I shall not want, and say it with holy certainty, the law activates, the storehouse opens, the vibration shifts, and money begins to come. I must tell you plainly, your lack is not because you are undeserving. Your delay is not divine punishment. Your struggle is not spiritual warfare. It is simply a misalignment with law. You have unknowingly accepted the world's hypnosis. You must work harder. You must wait longer. You must get lucky. You must speak. You must align. You must train your mind to expect what is already yours in spirit. Think of it like a radio frequency. The wealth you desire is already playing. But if your mental dial is set to worry, fear, or unworthiness, you cannot hear it. You must tune yourself to the channel of divine provision. And the way you tune is with your tongue. Your declarations are your tuning fork. Your affirmations are your alignment. And when you stay on frequency, wealth flows, not in trickles, but in waves. Not through effort, but through expression. From this moment on, I want you to replace every complaint with a command, every fear with a formula, every doubt with a declaration. When the voice of the world says, be realistic, you say, I walk in supernatural supply. When your bank account reports lack, you do not react in panic. You declare, this is already resolved in the invisible. When you hear of inflation, recession, or decline, you say, God is my banker, and he never fails. This is how you begin to train your mind for wealth, not by logic, not by hustle, but by the law of substitution and the law of prosperity, spoken in faith and sealed with rhythm. So now I ask you, what law have you been serving? The law of man or the law of God? The law of appearances or the law of abundance? If your mind has been loyal to limitation, it is time to break that loyalty. If your tongue has repeated lack, it is time to declare a new economy, one built not on effort, but on essence, not on savings, but on spirit, not on markets, but on mind. The wealth you desire already exists. The money you need is already accounted for. The supply you seek is already stored in the invisible, and your only work is to speak the word that releases it. Now that the law is clear, let us begin the training, for it is not enough to agree with truth. You must practice it, not occasionally, not emotionally, but daily, rhythmically. Just as the body is trained through repetition, so too the soul must be brought into divine discipline. I give you now your morning wealth ritual, for what you speak at sunrise will command the substance of your day. Your declarations in the morning do not simply motivate you, They instruct the invisible to rise in obedience. The first words of your day should never be complaint. They should never be, "I'm tired," or "I'm behind," or "I hope today goes better." These are not harmless phrases. They are miscreations. The law responds not to mood, but to command. Therefore, you must rise and speak your wealth into motion. You must tell the spirit what kind of day you are walking into. You must call your supply out of hiding, not because it resists you, but because it waits for your voice. So I give you this phrase. Let it be your foundation. Unexpected channels of supply now open to me. Speak it aloud before your feet touch the floor. Say it while brushing your teeth. Say it while pouring your coffee. Let it become the first vibration your house hears. You are not asking, you are authorizing. You are saying to Divine Mind, I am ready for the new. I am ready for the unseen. I release all limitations and welcome the miraculous. You must understand, money is not your source. It is a vehicle. It is a form. The true supply is invisible, infinite, and immediate, but it takes the shape of your belief. The clearer your command, the faster the form arrives. So when your physical eyes see an empty account, you do not bow to the appearance. You deny it. You speak over it. You say, though this number looks low, I know my storehouse is full. You do not wait for proof to feel wealthy. You declare wealth until proof must appear. Let me tell you of a woman who was deeply behind on her rent. Her eyes were on the deadline. Her heart was heavy with fear. But I instructed her to release the panic and begin to declare, divine supply is never late. She said it morning and night. She refused to argue with the appearance. And 2 days before the rent was due, a relative she hadn't spoken to in years called to send her money for no reason. The world will call this coincidence, but I call it spiritual alignment. She spoke, and the law obeyed. Now you must begin the same. For the next 3 days, speak the following affirmations each morning, not as a ritual, not with doubt, but as one who knows the law is in motion the moment the word is spoken. Day 1. Every bill is paid by Divine Mind, even if the due date looms, even if the money is not in hand, even if fear tries to mock you. Say it louder. Say it firmer. This is your spiritual signature. When you say, every bill is paid by Divine Mind, you are placing your trust not in income, but in infinite supply. Day 2. I welcome unexpected wealth. This is how you open the unseen gates. Do not limit yourself to salary, to clients, to business. Wealth can come from any direction when your mind is trained to receive. Say this until you feel the atmosphere shift. Say it until the tension releases. Say it until the unexpected becomes your norm. Day 3. Money is not my master. I am money's commander. You are not here to be enslaved by expense. You are not here to survive. You are here to govern. You are here to direct energy. Money is not a god. It is a tool. And when you speak as one who walks in dominion, money hears your voice. It moves. It flows. It arrives, not to test you, but to serve you. Let these declarations become the architecture of your mornings. They will do more than soothe. They will summon. They will break old patterns and build new paths. They will train your subconscious to expect wealth as natural, as daily, as inevitable. For what you call into each day will rise to meet you, and the world that seemed closed will begin to open, not by coincidence, but by law. Speak, train, declare. The mind that is ruled by spirit becomes a magnet for substance, and the soul that refuses to speak lack becomes a lighthouse for supply. The evening is as sacred as the morning. What you impress upon your mind before sleep goes directly into the subconscious, where it multiplies silently through the night. If you end your day rehearsing fear, worry, or scarcity, you are planting seeds of limitation while your conscious defenses are down. And so, I tell you plainly, guard the gate at sundown. The hours before sleep are the workshop of your future. Do not let them be overtaken by dread or doubt. Do not let the appearances of the day cast long shadows into your dreams. Instead, end every evening with a declaration of divine wealth. Speak into the silence, release the vibration, and let spirit do its hidden work while you rest. As you lay your head upon the pillow, do not review what is missing. Do not relive what went wrong. Speak only what you choose to multiply. Wealth is not only attracted by daytime declarations, it is installed in the secret hours by the word that lingers after the world has gone quiet. So begin by forgiving the day. Forgive the appearance of delay. Forgive yourself for any anxious thought and replace it all with this line. Every appearance of lack is a lie. I forgive it and replace it. This is your nightly cleansing. It is not passive. It is powerful. It scrubs the soul of scarcity and prepares the mind for spiritual impression. Then you speak this. Tonight, divine supply multiplies in silence. Say it gently, but with certainty. This is not a wish. It is an activation. While you sleep, the subconscious does not rest. It creates. It attracts. It arranges. And the thoughts you handed in the final minutes of wakefulness become the blueprint it builds from. If you say, I don't know how I'll make it, then it builds more confusion. But if you say, supply multiplies while I sleep, then the law goes to work, shaping form around your faith. Now I give you 4 declarations, one for each night of this next phase of training. These are not bedtime affirmations to soothe the mind. These are spiritual commands to reprogram the soil. Day 4. I now receive lavish abundance. Not small relief. Not barely enough. Lavish. Overflowing. Extravagant. There is no virtue in scraping by. Spirit does not delight in your struggle. The universe holds more wealth than you could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, and it moves in response to your vibration. Say this line until every cell of your being believes it is safe to receive more than you've ever imagined. Day 5. The doors of wealth are always open to me. Do not believe the lie of limited opportunity. Do not submit to the illusion of closed doors. When one shuts, another opens, but only to those who keep speaking. Wealth does not operate by man's schedule. It operates by spiritual receptivity. The doors are open when your faith is open. Speak this until you no longer look for permission. Say it until you feel the air shift, the channel widen, the room expand. Day 6. What I need comes quickly and freely. Stop expecting delay. Stop rehearsing difficulty. Spirit is not slow and supply is not stingy. Declare that your needs are already met. Say it before your eyes see it. Declare it when the deadline looms. This affirmation breaks the addiction to struggle. It removes the pride of earning and replaces it with the humility of receiving. Day 7. I am aligned with the law of increase. This is not a momentary fix. It is a permanent rhythm. Your entire being must walk in increase. Speak this line as your signature. Let it become your identity. Let it echo through every transaction, every decision, every encounter. When you align with increase, decrease becomes impossible. When you declare expansion, contraction cannot stay. Let these nighttime declarations become your spiritual lullabies. Let them sing you into abundance. Let them cradle you in expectancy. You are not drifting into sleep. You are being programmed for prosperity. You are not winding down. You are winding up the divine machinery of manifestation, and when you rise, the wealth will begin to show itself, not because it was newly created, but because your mind finally became a worthy host. You are not waiting on money. Money is waiting on your word, and your word must now govern both the rising and the resting, morning and night. Command and receive. Speak it, sleep in it, and let the law work while you dream. Now we descend beneath the words and into the roots. For what you speak with the mouth must also be believed by the subconscious mind. The tongue initiates the command, but it is the subconscious that shapes the form. And many of you have been speaking truth while still rooted in lies. You have declared wealth, but believed in struggle. You have spoken increase, yet still expected lack. You have said, I receive, but prepared for rejection. This is not failure, it is programming. And what was programmed by repetition can be reprogrammed by truth. You were taught that money is hard to earn, that riches come to the few, that good people struggle, and only the greedy prosper. But I say to you, none of these ideas come from divine mind. They are cultural spells, family echoes, societal myths. And now they must be broken. You do not inherit your financial future from your bloodline. You inherit it from your belief line, and your belief must now change. Let us take an old phrase you may have heard 1,000 times. Money doesn't grow on trees. This was meant to teach you caution, but it taught you contraction. It whispered lack into your young spirit. It etched the illusion of limitation into your soul. But let us now substitute it with spiritual reality. Money grows from spiritual law, and the law is rooted in me. This is the new tree. This is the true growth. This is the shift from superstition to substance, from folklore to faith. Another deadly phrase, I can't afford that. You say it casually, thoughtlessly. You use it to explain decisions, to justify denial. But every time you speak it, you are engraving scarcity into your mind. You are announcing to the universe that you are unsupported, that you are undernourished, that your source is small. So replace it immediately and permanently with, if this is mine by divine right, the supply appears now. Do not argue, do not calculate, just declare, and the law will arrange itself to either bring it or replace it with something greater. There is one more belief we must address. The hidden shame around wanting money. So many spiritual souls whisper their desires as if wealth were sinful or selfish. But I say again, there is no virtue in lack. There is no holiness in insufficiency. You cannot serve the world in fullness while living in fear of bills. You cannot pour into others when your own cup is empty. You must walk in abundance, not for greed, but for God. For when the righteous prosper, the world is blessed. Now I give you a tool. Use it every time a thought of lack arises. I call it the CRC formula. Cancel, replace, command. Cancel the lie. Say aloud, I cancel that. Speak it with force. Interrupt the old mental groove. Replace the thought. Install a higher truth. For example, there's never enough becomes, I walk in more than enough. Command the atmosphere. Seal it with a final declaration. Every cell of my being attracts divine wealth. You will use this formula not once, but repeatedly. You will override, override, override. Just as a worn path in the forest can be abandoned and replaced by a new trail, so too can your mental roads be reformed, but it will take consistency, reverence, faith. Let me give you a holy picture. Your mind is a field. Every thought is a seed. The field does not care whether you plant wheat or weeds. It grows what you plant. And the harvest always arrives in proportion to the belief. If you sow doubt, you reap delay. If you sow truth, you reap demonstration. The subconscious is not your enemy. It is your servant, but it serves whatever master is loudest and most consistent. So, begin now. Say it aloud. Say it often. Say it until your voice becomes your vibration. I cancel the thought of lack. I replace it with divine wealth. I command the atmosphere to yield my supply. This is not emotionalism. This is reprogramming. This is spiritual neurology. This is law applied through rhythm and word. Do not fear the old patterns. Speak over them. Do not mourn the years spent in mental poverty. Redeem them by declaring wealth now. The mind is not fixed. It is fertile, and today you plant riches in its soil. Now that you've exposed and canceled the beliefs of lack, the time has come to replace them entirely with the rhythm of divine wealth. Reprogramming is not a one-time epiphany. It is a daily, hourly, moment by moment dedication to truth. You must saturate the mind with divine increase until fear cannot breathe, until doubt withers from lack of attention, until the old grooves are smoothed out and overwritten with the gold-lined tracks of spiritual dominion. You do not wait for your emotions to agree. You do not delay until circumstances shift. You begin now, with repetition as your vehicle and truth as your driver. I tell you again, the subconscious accepts repetition as reality. It does not argue. It does not reason. It receives. And once it receives a command spoken with rhythm, it begins to shape your outer world to match it. This is the secret of all demonstration, not effort, but alignment. Let us begin with this powerful affirmation. The wealth I expect, I receive. Speak it slowly. Speak it again. You are no longer begging for money. You are no longer wondering how or when. You are expecting, and that expectation becomes the mold for your manifestation. You are the vessel, and expectation is the open top. When you expect in truth, you receive in form. Now we go deeper. Say this with me. Money comes easily and constantly. This declaration breaks the ancient spell of financial strain. It dissolves the belief that money only comes through exhaustion or chance. It tells the subconscious that wealth is not rare. It is rhythmic. It is a flow, a movement, a vibration. And when spoken often enough, the mind begins to agree. The body begins to relax, and the world begins to rearrange. Then say, my wealth flows from divine favor, not force. This is the rebalancing of your energetic economy. You are no longer relying on hustle, performance, or perfection. You are relying on divine law. And law never needs to be pushed. It needs only to be obeyed. Favor is not luck. Favor is alignment. When you walk in spiritual rhythm, things begin to open for you. People offer, money finds, opportunities locate you, not because you earned them, but because you declared them. Here is a sacred truth. I deserve abundance because I am divine idea made manifest. Say this until the shame breaks, until the resistance softens, until the guilt of receiving dissolves into light. You are not manipulating the law. You are fulfilling it. You are not taking what is not yours. You are claiming what has been waiting for your voice. When you declare your divine identity, the world begins to mirror your majesty. Let me tell you a living parable. A man once came to me discouraged. He had tried every method, worked long hours, said affirmations, but always with doubt behind them. I told him, stop begging and start commanding. Stop rehearsing fear and start rehearsing favor. I gave him this simple shift. Every time he worried, he was to say, all my needs are now met by divine supply. He wrote it, spoke it, slept with it. Within weeks, he was offered a position he hadn't applied for, at double the salary. Why? Because the law does not delay when the word is established. He trained his mind into expectancy, and expectancy pulled the form into view. Now you must do the same. The next time you feel fear about money, do not react. Respond with command. Say, I walk in supernatural provision. The next time you feel overlooked, say, I am divinely remembered and richly rewarded. The next time you feel behind, say, I am on divine schedule and all things flow to me now. Write these affirmations. Speak them hourly. Set alarms on your phone. Whisper them while walking. Declare them while working. These are not empty words. They are signals to spirit. They are frequencies that shape form. They are your covenant, your contract, your code. And above all, remember this. Speak until the old voice of lack has no air left. Do not wait for the doubt to disappear. Drown it in declaration. Do not ask, is this working? Ask, am I obeying the law? Because the law never forgets a command. The moment your vibration matches your desire, wealth appears. The moment your mind stays faithful to truth, manifestation becomes motion. You are not cursed. You are not behind. You are not invisible. You are now tuned to the frequency of favor. You are now walking in the rhythm of wealth, and your world is beginning to reflect the word you've been speaking. Now comes the line in the sand. Now comes the moment where inspiration becomes instruction, where you decide whether this word becomes your new way of being or fades into another forgotten truth. The law does not respond to curiosity. It responds to command. Spirit does not move because you are inspired. Spirit moves because you are in alignment. And alignment is action. Alignment is agreement. Alignment is repetition. You must not only believe the law works, you must live as if it already has. You cannot go back to neutral speech. You cannot drift into casual complaint. You cannot afford the luxury of declaring lack and calling it honesty. There is no honesty in illusion. There is only agreement. And if you speak lack even for a moment, you re-enter a contract with the old world. But if you remain in your covenant of wealth, your words will become substance, your belief will become form, and your atmosphere will rise to meet the vibration of your voice. So I give you this charge. For the next 14 days, you will train your mind with fire. You will not entertain scarcity, not even silently. You will not discuss your problems unless it is to declare their resolution. You will not look at your bank account and say, "This isn't enough." You will say, "This is a temporary appearance, and it is now replaced by divine surplus." You will walk as one who is already funded. You will talk as one who is already supplied. Each morning, you will rise and say, "My channels are open." You will say it before checking your phone, before speaking to another soul. You will give the law its instruction. And because you do, new ideas, new income, new favor will be magnetized to you. Not because you manipulated the system, but because you obeyed the rhythm. Each midday, whether at work, at home, or in stillness, you will speak this line: "Money follows me." Let it interrupt your old pattern. Let it cancel the thought of strain. Say it aloud in the car. Whisper it in the hallway. Write it in your journal. Because what you say consistently, you become magnetically aligned to. Each night before sleep, you will say, "All is provided." This closes your day in spiritual certainty. It ends the wandering. It seals your frequency. The subconscious will take this line and go to work while you rest. Angels will be dispatched. Ideas will be born. Circumstances will shift. All because you ended the day with a divine decree. Let me say this clearly. The next 2 weeks are not about trying. They are about training, not about wishing, about walking. You will not say, "I'm going to try this and see what happens." You will say, "For 14 days, I speak wealth. I reject lack. I walk in covenant. I demonstrate divine substance." You are not small. You are not stuck. You are not someone who merely hopes. You are someone who commands. You are not a follower of trends. You are a master of law, and law responds to boldness. Law follows instruction. Law bends to the one who refuses to bend back into limitation. So go forward now, not cautiously, but prophetically. Speak the end from the beginning. Call in the riches. Deny the lie. Enforce the covenant. For the wealth has already been created, and it now waits on one thing, the voice that dares to declare. Let us now seal this truth with fire. Let us speak as lawgivers, not beggars. Let us summon the unseen with rhythm and authority. These are not affirmations for your journal. These are declarations for your soul. Each one is a hammer breaking the shell of limitation. Each one is a seed that guarantees harvest. You will not whisper them. You will roar them in spirit. You will say them not to feel better, but to call the law into motion. Now speak this with your whole being. I am a magnet for divine money. You are not waiting to deserve. You are not hoping to receive. You are magnetizing supply through the purity of your word. You are drawing wealth not by charm, but by covenant. Say it again. I receive wealth from seen and unseen sources. You are no longer limited to one income stream. You are no longer confined to what the mind can track. Spirit will send money through strangers, refunds, inheritance, ideas, favor, and miracles. You will be surprised, but never unprepared. Say this: all that I need, I now possess. Not tomorrow, not once the invoice clears. Now the substance of your good exists in the invisible and moves toward form the moment you speak it. You are not speaking to create, you are speaking to reveal. Now declare, there is no delay in divine supply. Whatever appears slow is only the rearrangement of form. Divine supply is never late, never stuck, never reluctant. When you say, now, the law responds, yes. Say this with command: I walk in supernatural provision. You are not here to make ends meet. You are here to walk in overflow. The supernatural is your normal. The uncommon is your rhythm. The law is your economy. And now, the final affirmation. Say it slowly. Let it echo in the chambers of your being. Let it uproot every remaining remnant of fear. My wealth is unlimited, because my source is infinite. Let this be your conclusion. Let this be your song. Let this be the new currency of your mind. You are no longer hoping. You are no longer asking. You are no longer proving. You are walking. You are receiving. You are becoming. And the law says yes. If this message lit something inside you, if it cracked a shell, if it silenced a lie, if it stirred the knowing that you were never meant to struggle, then let it not pass through you and fade. Let it become your new rhythm. Let it be your covenant of increase. You are not a visitor to this truth. You are its keeper. You are its steward. And wealth is not something you wait for anymore. It is something you walk in, declare in, and live in from this moment forward. If this word met you in your wilderness, if it reminded you that the fog of lack was never yours to begin with, then let your voice echo back. Write your declaration in the comments, not for me, but for you. Let the universe hear your word made visible. Type it, speak it, declare it. I now walk in divine wealth, or my wealth is unlimited, or whatever line became your sword today. When you write it, you anchor it. When you share it, you affirm it. And when you do, others are lifted into the same remembrance. If this channel feels like your sanctuary, your upper room of truth, then remain close. Subscribe not out of habit, but as a declaration of alignment. Let every video be your training. Let every word be your rehearsal. Let this space be your daily immersion in spiritual law. There are many voices in the world, but few speak the pure rhythm of divine substance. If you found it here, then guard it, nurture it, return to it. And above all, come back tomorrow. Each day for the next 14 days, return to this teaching. Watch it again if you must. Re-speak the affirmations. Reinstall the declarations. Do not let the momentum fade. This is not entertainment. This is initiation. This is not inspiration. This is instruction. This is your divine wealth reformation, and you must treat it like the holy work it is. You are not random. You are not behind. You are not outside the covenant. You are the demonstration of divine supply in motion. You are the living proof that God is not limited, that law is not partial, that wealth is not withheld. You are the voice through which abundance becomes visible. And every time you speak in rhythm with truth, the universe says, so it is. You are not becoming wealthy. You are now aligned with wealth, and everything you need is already yours.
Prosperity is not a mystery. It is a law. It is not reserved for the few, the lucky, or the connected. It is not earned by anxiety or secured by strategy. It is not delayed by external forces. It is governed entirely, completely, unshakably by divine law. And I say to you now with the full authority of truth, if you ignore that law, you forfeit the wealth already assigned to your name. You may work harder than others, strive longer than others, cry more deeply than others, and still remain stuck in cycles of lack if you have not aligned with spiritual order. Because the universe does not respond to effort. It responds to vibration governed by law. Most people pray for money while disobeying every law that creates it. They beg for overflow while repeating the rhythm of fear. They chase opportunities while leaking spiritual authority with every complaint, every worry, every contradiction they speak. They are faithful to struggle and foreign to truth, and that is why they remain bound. But you, if you are hearing my voice, you are being called out of that pattern. You are being summoned into divine prosperity. Not the counterfeit kind the world celebrates, built on ego and fear and exhaustion, but the kind that flows, multiplies, circulates, and endures, the kind that aligns with heaven's blueprint, the kind that cannot be taken because it is spoken into being by spiritual law. There are 7 divine laws of prosperity, 7 frequencies, 7 spiritual codes, and though they are simple, they are ignored by 99% of humanity. But the moment you obey them, not once, not in emergency, but rhythmically, your world will change, not because you earned it, but because law was obeyed. The vault of your life will swing open, the channels of divine supply will rush in, not by chance, by covenant. You are not waiting for luck. You are waiting to align. And these 7 laws are the combination that unlocks everything. Prosperity does not come because you desire it. It does not appear because you need it. It comes because you are aligned with the law that governs it. There is divine order behind every visible manifestation of wealth. And that order is not emotional. It is not personal. It is not based on worthiness or effort. It is spiritual, precise, and vibrational. You are not rewarded for how much you want something. You are rewarded for how faithfully you agree with law. This is where the masses fail. They believe wealth is earned by human grind or denied by cosmic unfairness. They do not know the kingdom principle that undergirds all provision. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. That scripture is not metaphor, it is method. Seek ye first the kingdom means seek first divine alignment. Seek first the rhythm of spiritual obedience. And what are these things? Money, shelter, food, opportunity, overflow. They are not to be begged for. They are not to be chased. They are to be added. Added because law has been obeyed. You are not meant to work yourself into the ground. You are not meant to live in fear of what's next. You are not here to walk through life calculating how much you lack. You are here to command reality through vibrational authority. You are here to align so deeply with divine law that your life becomes proof of it. These 7 laws I will reveal to you are not tools you try. They are not tricks you apply. They are frequencies you must become. You cannot speak lack and walk in law. You cannot resent the rich and expect abundance. You cannot force your timeline and expect divine timing. These laws are not options. They are spiritual absolutes. And until you honor them, prosperity will evade you, not because it is cruel, but because it is coded into alignment. Imagine a locked vault. Your inheritance is inside. Every financial miracle, every business breakthrough, every unexpected opportunity. It is not locked because God is testing you. It is locked because the vault only opens when your vibration matches the divine sequence. That sequence is these 7 laws. When you speak them, obey them, and declare them in rhythm, the vault cannot stay shut. These laws are holy. They are exact. They are the keys that turn spiritual inheritance into visible reality. The 99% ignore them and remain in cycles of struggle. But the 1% live by them and walk in the flow of divine wealth. And now that you are hearing them, you are no longer part of the 99%. You are called to obey, to declare, to become. Let me show you how. We begin now with the first 2 laws that are not suggestions but spiritual mandates. These are not philosophies. They are not personal development advice. They are the root mechanisms through which spirit delivers substance into form. Break them, and you break your own flow. Obey them, and you open the floodgates of divine provision. Law number 1, the law of the spoken word. This is the first and final gate of all prosperity. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you speak repeatedly, rhythmically, with faith. The law does not respond to begging. It does not respond to hoping. It responds to word, spoken aloud, declared without apology, anchored in truth. Every sentence you speak either opens channels or blocks them. Your voice is the sculptor of your financial reality. If you say, "I'm always behind," then law must obey that vibration. If you say, "I never get ahead," the substance of your life must contract. But if you rise in the morning and declare, "My supply is unlimited and arrives now," then even in the presence of bills or delays or silence, you are planting seeds that must take form. You are instructing the universe with divine language. You are creating spiritual leverage that bends time and form to match the frequency of obedience. Your words are not empty. They are containers of power. Every declaration is a command to the invisible realm, and when spoken in rhythm, the invisible becomes visible. You cannot afford loose speech. You cannot afford to make jokes about being broke. You cannot afford to keep it real when real means staying bound. You must speak what you wish to see, not what you fear exists. That is the law. Law number 2, the law of divine right timing. You may be tempted to force manifestation, to rush results, to compare your path with another's. But let me tell you, forcing is fear disguised as control, and fear never creates. Fear aborts. You must understand, what is yours by divine right cannot be delayed, and it cannot be forced. It can only be received at the appointed hour. This law demands surrender without passivity. You are not lazy. You are aligned. You are not in neutral. You are in faithful preparation. Divine timing is not delay. It is orchestration. It is arrangement. It is protection. Spirit will not deliver your good into a consciousness that will mishandle it. Spirit will not release wealth into a system still loyal to struggle. And so when it seems late, it is only because you are being prepared to carry the weight of what is already yours. You declare, "What is mine arrives in perfect sequence." You declare, "There are no delays in divine mind." You declare, "I do not rush, I receive." Do not behave like a spiritual beggar in line. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are not knocking on a locked door. You are the honored guest at a table already prepared. And every time you obey divine timing, you move closer, not farther, from demonstration. Let me be clear. Delay is only created by contradiction. When you speak truth one day and fear the next, when you declare abundance in the morning and complain by lunch, you break rhythm. And rhythm is law's delivery mechanism. So obey the rhythm, speak consistently, wait without panic, declare without compromise. Because when these first 2 laws are kept, the next ones activate automatically. You cannot be denied what you speak in rhythm. You cannot miss what is yours by divine right. Now let us move deeper into the flow of obedience. Now let us move into the next 2 divine laws of prosperity, 2 laws that determine how you handle resistance and what you do with fear. These laws are often misunderstood because they are quiet. They are internal. They do not always roar, but they are unbreakable, and when you ignore them, the energy of your life turns in against itself. When you honor them, you stop fighting shadows and start commanding form. Law number 3, the law of non-resistance. This law is simple. What you resist, you magnetize. What you bless, you dissolve. Most people do not lack money because they are lazy. They lack money because they are in resistance. They resent the bills. They hate the wealthy. They criticize the system. And all of that resistance tightens the channel. It hardens the flow. It traps the soul in a loop of spiritual friction. You must stop fighting what you want to release. You must stop complaining about what you secretly desire. You cannot receive what you resent. If you judge the rich, you cannot become one. If you curse the financial system, you cannot rise in it. You cannot criticize and command at the same time. Instead, bless. Say it with me. I bless the wealth of others and so increase my own. Say, I release all resentment and now I am free to receive. Say, I resist nothing. I rise above everything. This is not passivity, this is power. This is how you stop pouring energy into the very vibration that keeps you poor. Forgiveness is one of the highest forms of prosperity alignment. If you are holding a grudge against a parent, an ex, a friend, a system, you are tying your wealth to their frequency. Release them. Bless them. Let them go. Your money cannot arrive in a room filled with resentment. Your supply will not flow through a bitter tongue. Non-resistance is not weakness. It is trust. It is surrender to divine order. It is the open hand that receives. Law number 4, the law of substitution. This is one of the most ignored laws in spiritual teaching, and yet it is the gatekeeper of manifestation. It says, you cannot hold two thoughts at once. You must substitute the lie with truth, instantly and rhythmically, until the lie dissolves from lack of agreement. The moment a thought of fear enters, what if this doesn't work? You must not entertain it. You must replace it, not argue with it, not think around it. Replace it. Say, it is working now, whether seen or unseen. When the thought arises, I don't have enough, you substitute, my supply is infinite and always unfolding. This is not positive thinking. This is divine obedience. Your subconscious accepts whatever you feed it, truth or lie, fear or faith. If you do not substitute the old rhythm, it will continue playing in the background, shaping your life without your consent. Speak over yourself constantly. Replace every internal whisper of lack with a shouted declaration of abundance. If the lie is aggressive, then your truth must be louder. Repeat until it becomes natural. Repeat until your mind forgets the old voice. Substitution is how you clear the channel. It is how you evict old beliefs. It is how you tell the law, this is the frequency I now live in. Build from here. Most people let the lie linger. You will not. You are not most people. You are the 1% who obey the law, and because you obey, your prosperity becomes inevitable. Now, let us move into reprogramming, the inner recalibration that makes this permanent. If your mind is not trained, your mouth will betray you. If your vibration is not fortified, your fear will override your faith. And this is where most people collapse, not in knowledge, but in rhythm. They declare the truth once and expect a miracle. They feel excited for a day, only to fall into old patterns when appearances contradict their declarations. But I tell you, spiritual law does not obey emotion. It obeys consistency. The subconscious mind is not moved by intensity. It is reprogrammed by repetition. Now we reveal two laws that govern the inner world, the seat of manifestation, the hidden vault of your financial reality. Law number 5, the law of vibration. Everything you say, everything you think, everything you feel emits a vibration, and that vibration becomes the magnet of your experiences. When you speak lack, you feel lack. When you feel lack, you draw more lack. This is not punishment, it is physics. It is the architecture of spiritual law, but this law is also your liberation. Because just as vibration creates lack, it can create overflow. When you install new words, when you repeat them with rhythm, when you feel them in your body as truth, you shift your entire energetic signature, and the law must obey the shift. Say this, I feel rich now, not someday. Now say, I vibrate in harmony with divine increase. Say it until your chest opens. Say it until your body believes. Say it until your world has no choice but to mirror the vibration. You must train your nervous system to feel wealthy before the outer proves it. This is not delusion. This is design. This is the process of vibration creating form. This is how heaven becomes earth. Law number 6, the law of expectation. Many ask, few expect, many affirm, few assume, and this is why they walk in delay. The universe does not respond to longing, it responds to expectation. What you expect, you prepare for. What you prepare for, you magnetize. You do not say, I hope this works. You say, I expect supply today. You do not say, I'll believe it when I see it. You say, because I believe it, I must see it. Expectation is not passive. It is the quiet power that opens the door. You must wake each day and say, today, divine substance rushes to meet me. You must walk into rooms expecting favor. You must open emails expecting miracles. You must speak contracts, opportunities, and overflow into existence, not as wish, but as law. Imagine expectation like a spiritual doorknob. The supply is already there, waiting, but the door will not open with hope. It opens when your vibration matches the energy of already done. Expectation is the signal that says, I am ready. I am aligned. I am in agreement. If you expect delay, you prolong it. If you expect opposition, you multiply it. If you expect divine timing, open doors, and unexpected wealth, then the law begins rearranging reality to match your vibration. This is not arrogance. This is obedience to law. So I ask you, what have you been expecting? What rhythm have you repeated, consciously or unconsciously? If you do not change your expectation, you cannot change your experience. But the moment you expect divine increase and expect it daily, your life must match that rhythm. You are no longer hoping. You are no longer guessing. You are expecting. And because you expect with law, you cannot be denied. It is not enough to hear the laws. It is not enough to agree. You must obey. You must commit. You must declare. Because until your mouth becomes the vessel of law, your life will remain governed by chance, delay, and contradiction. You are not called to be a student of prosperity. You are called to be a demonstration of it. So I now reveal the final of the 7 divine laws, the one that seals the others, the one that proves your obedience. Law number 7, the law of return. Whatever you send out returns multiplied. Every word, every emotion, every seed, every offering, every act of generosity, every thought of resentment, every tithe spoken in faith, every complaint released in bitterness. The universe is not neutral. It is responsive. It does not keep score. It multiplies signal. And when you send out with rhythm, you receive with rhythm. You must understand, money does not circulate because you beg it to. It circulates because you activate it. If you hoard out of fear, the law contracts. If you give with joy, the law expands. When you assign your money a mission, when you give in alignment with spirit, when you tithe with expectation, when you bless others with a spoken declaration, you set the law of return in motion. And it cannot fail. Say this, everything I give returns to me multiplied. Say, I do not release money. I release seed into fertile soil. Say, my circulation is my confirmation of trust. If you have feared giving, it is because you have forgotten your source. If you have delayed obedience, it is because you still believe you are your provider. But the moment you give with rhythm, the law takes over. Your vibration is no longer small, your trust is no longer split, and the return becomes inevitable. So now I give you a challenge, not as a suggestion, but as a covenant. For the next 7 days, you will obey all 7 laws, not randomly, not when it's convenient, but every single day, with intention, with rhythm, with power. Here is your daily structure. Morning command, begin each day with the law of the spoken word. Declare, I speak wealth into form. Midday substitution, identify any thought of lack and replace it immediately. Declare, my good cannot be withheld. Evening seal, expect supply. Speak as though the substance is already in transit. Declare, because I aligned today, I must receive tomorrow. And each day, practice return. Give something, a word, a tithe, a blessing, a gift, but always release with declaration. Say, this returns to me multiplied under grace. You are now a steward of spiritual power. You are not reacting to life. You are commanding it. And these 7 laws are your rhythm, your code, your wealth map. You do not need to chase another strategy. You do not need another financial guru. You need obedience to divine law. 7 days, 7 laws, full obedience, and at the end, you will not recognize your old self. Because the one who walks in law walks in demonstration, and the one who walks in demonstration walks in irresistible prosperity. Now let us lock these laws into your spirit. Let us engrave them into the rhythm of your tongue. These are not mere affirmations, they are decrees. These are not suggestions, they are activations of spiritual law. Speak each one aloud, slowly, clearly, with power. And when you speak, imagine the law bending around your vibration, forming reality in response to your command. Say, I am one with the law of divine abundance. This is not borrowed. This is not earned. This is your spiritual identity. Say, my words multiply my wealth. Every sentence is a seed. Every phrase is a planting. Speak, and the harvest must come. Say, I expect miracles and receive them. Expectation is your agreement. It opens every gate. Say, I give with joy and receive without resistance. You are not ashamed to circulate. You are not afraid to receive. You are in divine flow. Say, I speak, and substance obeys. You are not hoping, you are commanding. The universe is not deaf, it is obedient to rhythm. And now seal it. Because I obey law, I cannot be denied prosperity. This is the final line. This is the door slammed shut on every false belief. This is your spiritual contract with abundance. Let this sequence be your armor. Let it be your daily drill. Let it become more natural than doubt, more familiar than fear, more real than appearance. You are not affirming because you need wealth. You are affirming because you are wealth, and law must now reflect that truth. If this word entered your spirit like thunder, if it shattered the spell of survival, if it awakened your true name as a child of divine law, then I ask you, do not walk away unchanged. These 7 laws are not meant to be remembered. They are meant to be obeyed. And if you feel the truth burning inside you now, make your covenant public. Go to the comments and write, I walk in all 7 laws, or choose the one that pierced you deepest and write it as your decree. Speak your rhythm into the world. Let the universe record your alignment. And if this space feels like your sanctuary, subscribe, not as a follower, but as a builder. Let each video be your daily correction, your daily reprogramming, your daily remembering. You don't need another secret. You don't need more proof. You need rhythm. You need obedience. You need spiritual repetition until law becomes nature. Come back tomorrow. Re-listen. Realign. Re-speak. Because wealth is not found in effort, it is found in rhythm. And when you return to the rhythm of law, nothing can be denied you. The 99% ignore these laws, but you are the exception that demonstrates them. And so it is. If your wallet is empty, it is not a financial problem. It is a spiritual signal, an echo of the words you have spoken and the laws you have activated, consciously or unconsciously. There is no such thing as lack in divine mind. There is no poverty in the kingdom of heaven. But where the word is absent, form cannot appear. And so I say to you now, with the full force of truth, you were never meant to fear money. You were born to govern it, not with struggle, not with stress, but with speech. The moment you speak into form, form appears. The moment you bless the symbol, the current returns. And there is no symbol more sacred, more psychologically loaded, more spiritually magnetic in this modern world than your wallet. Your wallet is not just a leather fold or a digital screen. It is a shrine, a portal, a mirror of your spoken relationship with the unseen realm of supply. And most have spoken curses into it without even knowing. There's never enough. It's all gone again. I can't afford that. These are not harmless phrases. These are spells. And the wallet obeys them faithfully. But what if you knew the sentence that breaks the cycle? What if you could speak just one line into your wallet, morning and night, before spending and after receiving? and watch it never run dry again. What if the supply you've been chasing was simply waiting to hear your word? The problem is not with money. It never was. The problem is with the relationship between your voice and your symbol, between your truth and your touch, and that is about to change. Because in this moment, in this teaching, I give you back your authority. I give you back the spiritual ritual you forgot you carried. I give you the sentence that, when spoken with faith, rhythm, and dominion, turns your wallet into a wellspring. So take it out now. Don't be afraid. Hold it. Feel the texture. Look at it not with shame or scarcity, but with sacredness, because you are about to speak into it, not to ask, not to hope, but to command, to bless, to awaken divine substance that has never stopped flowing, but has simply been uncalled for. And the sentence you will speak, again and again until it reforms your reality, is this: divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Say it now. Say it with breath. Say it into the symbol. Say it like your future depends on it, because it does. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. This is the beginning, the turn, the spiritual reversal. From this moment on, your wallet is no longer a record of lack. It is a receiver of law, a transmitter of blessing, a portal through which the invisible becomes visible again and again without delay. There is only one source, and that source is spirit. Money is not your source. Clients are not your source. The government is not your source. Your job, your family, your bank, they are all channels. And channels may change, but supply remains. Unshaken, unending, unbothered by appearances. The law of divine supply is as real as gravity, and it is not activated by emotion. It is activated by speech. It is not released through effort. It is released through alignment. Your wallet may feel empty in the natural, but in the unseen, it waits to be filled with the vibration of truth. Not ideas, not effort, but divine decree. Hear me clearly. Money is not a god, and money is not your enemy. Money is a servant, a sacred symbol, a neutral carrier of spiritual assignment. It goes where it is respected, it multiplies where it is blessed, and it lingers where it is spoken to as law. If you treat money as power, it will rule you. But if you treat money as substance moved by spirit, it will serve you faithfully. Let us remember what the scripture says in Philippians 4:19. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. That means your need is not the source. God is. That means the riches you need are not created by effort. They already exist in glory, in spirit, in the invisible warehouse of divine mind, and the only bridge between those riches and your wallet is your word. Divine supply operates by spiritual law. It does not respond to begging. It does not respond to desperation. It does not move because you want it badly. It moves when you speak the truth without fear. When you look into the symbol of money, your wallet, your account, your purse, and you speak with alignment, with rhythm, with declaration, divine substance fills this wallet now. Substance is the key word, because substance is the invisible root of visible form. Every dollar is made of divine substance. Every coin carries spiritual signature, and your word reactivates that circulation. Without it, your wallet becomes a closed system. But with your word, it becomes a current of increase, a field of multiplication, a mirror of your inner flow. Never again say, I'm broke. Never again say, there's never enough. Because the law does not have a sense of humor. It does not correct you. It does not question you. It obeys. And if you speak lack, it will reflect it. But the moment you bless your wallet, you step into the stream of eternal flow. You open the gates of divine sufficiency. Say it with me now. My wallet is not my source. Spirit is. Divine supply is now activated by my word. This is not fantasy. This is metaphysical law. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Speak to the mountain." And your mountain is not debt. Your mountain is disbelief. Your mountain is the old language of fear, and you are now casting it into the sea with one sentence. You are no longer bound by appearances. You are governed by truth. And your wallet is now included in that truth. If your wallet has stayed empty, it is not because heaven said no. It is not because supply ran out. It is not because the world is unfair or the system is broken. Your wallet stays empty because it has been filled with fear instead of faith, guilt instead of gratitude, and silence instead of spoken law. Every time you touched it with dread, every time you opened it with the thought, "There's nothing here." Every time you paid a bill and said, "There goes my money," you wrote a script upon that symbol, and the script became your reality. Most people do not realize this. Your wallet is not neutral. It is spiritually charged every time you touch it, every time you look at it. Every time you swipe a card or pull out a bill, you are casting a spiritual vote. You are either saying yes to flow or yes to fear. And that energy, the unspoken atmosphere you carry, is what decides whether your wallet fills or drains. Let me tell you a story. A woman once came to me, distraught over her finances. She tithed, she worked, she read affirmations. Yet every time she reached into her purse, her face tensed, her body braced, her thoughts whispered, "It won't be enough." I told her, "It is not your work that is broken. It is your speech at the moment of contact." I instructed her to say, every time she touched her purse, "Divine substance fills this purse now. I am always fully supplied." Within days, unexpected income arrived. But more than that, her tone changed, her posture shifted. She no longer approached money with apology. She approached it with alignment, and her purse never ran dry again. You see, your wallet is like a spiritual womb. If you speak fear into it, it will give birth to lack. If you speak truth into it, it will produce demonstration. It is not magic. It is law. Law moves when your voice matches the vibration of the unseen truth. Every time you say, "I can't afford that," you do not just block the purchase, you block the channel. Every time you say, "Money goes faster than it comes," you declare a curse over the current. Every time you receive a payment and immediately worry it won't be enough, you are turning abundance into ashes with your own mouth. But here is the redemption. You can reverse the spell instantly. The moment you speak differently, the law responds. The moment you pick up your wallet and say, "Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay." You break the old agreement. You install a new one. You shift the code. You write a new sentence in the book of supply. And that book is always open. Say this now. I cancel every word of lack I've ever spoken over my wallet. I now speak only truth, only flow, only increase. You are not cursed. You are not bound. You are simply untrained. And now you are being retrained, reminded, realigned with the truth that your wallet was never the problem. Your word was. But that ends today. This is the turning point, the moment of reversal. The divine recalibration of form by the power of speech. One sentence, spoken into your wallet, your purse, your card, your account. It does not matter the vessel, for the spirit moves by vibration, not form. And the sentence is this: Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. This is not poetry. This is precision. Each word is spiritual architecture. Each phrase strikes a chord in the invisible. This sentence was not born in theory. It is forged in truth, aligned with law, and it does what no budgeting system can do. It changes the atmosphere surrounding your money. Let us break it open and feel the weight of every word. Divine substance, not just money, not just numbers. Substance, invisible, eternal, boundless life force that precedes and produces all form. You are not calling in dollars alone. You are calling in the source from which all dollars flow. Divine substance does not run out. It does not dry up. It multiplies when spoken. Fills this wallet now, not later, not one day, not when conditions change. Now you are not begging, you are commanding. You are giving divine substance a location, a form to occupy, a vessel to pour into. You are saying, here is my wallet, here is my permission, fill it, and law obeys. Money flows to me, not trickles, not visits, flows. The energy of money is movement, and it responds to flow-minded speakers. You are declaring motion, circulation, current. This is no longer a stagnant pond. It is a river of substance returning to its speaker. In perfect ways, not manipulation, not fear. No forced strategies. You are calling in the how through divine intelligence. You do not need to know where it comes from. You only need to trust that it comes perfectly. By perfect law, because nothing random is allowed in divine mind. You are not summoning chaos. You are not tempting fate. You are aligning with law, and law is precise. It cannot fail, and it cannot be late when rightly invoked. Without delay. The fear phrase is, maybe one day, but you speak without delay. You cut the cord of spiritual procrastination. You open the gates. You declare, I am ready now. The law is ready now. The form appears now. Say it again. Take your wallet in your hand, whether there's $1 in it or nothing at all, and say, divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Again, divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. One more time, with authority. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. You have just installed a new atmosphere. You have just rewritten the script. You have just activated divine machinery on your behalf, and the wallet will respond, because the law must. The power of the sentence does not come from volume. It does not come from intensity. It comes from consistency. Ritual is rhythm. Ritual is dominion practiced over time. And when you treat your declaration like breath, something that must occur again and again to sustain life, you turn a sentence into a current, and that current will carry money, opportunity, provision, and increase directly to your door. Here is how you must use this sentence. This is your sacred assignment. First, in the morning before your feet hit the floor, take your wallet in hand. I do not care if it is full or empty, leather or plastic, digital or physical. The form does not matter, the authority does. Hold it like you are holding a holy object, because you are, and say 3 times with breath and rhythm. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Let it be your first vibration of the day. Let it instruct your subconscious. Let it govern your mind before the world has a chance to speak. Second, every time you touch your wallet, speak. Every time you pay. Every time you open it. Every time you check your account, pull out a card, even glance toward it, let the sentence be your atmosphere. Say it under your breath. Whisper it into your palm. Make it a reflex so strong that your nervous system pairs money with rhythm, not fear. Third, before sleep, take your wallet again and place it near you. Do not throw it across the room. Do not ignore it. Let it be treated as a vessel of living flow. Place your hand upon it and declare the sentence 3 times, like a lullaby to your subconscious. You are not only programming the mind, you are commanding the invisible to organize around your decree. 4th, when you make a purchase, bless the flow. Say, divine substance flows freely from me and returns multiplied. Do not speak of loss. Do not speak of depletion. Every time you spend, you are telling the law how to return. Spend in alignment. Bless every transaction. Send it out like a seed, not a sacrifice. 5th, never again say what you can't afford. That phrase is a spell, and the law takes it literally. Say instead, I choose not to purchase this now, but all that is mine comes easily and richly. Do not apologize for your flow. Do not bow to fear-based logic. Every sentence matters. This is not a burden. It is a blessing. You are not being asked to work harder. You are being invited to speak better, to carry your wallet like a priest carries the sacred cup, to fill it with sound instead of sorrow, to treat it like a partner, not a problem. Repeat after me now, with wallet in hand or in mind. This is not just a wallet, it is my altar of abundance. Every word I speak into it is law, and it shall not return void. When you turn your daily contact with money into a ritual of divine speech, money turns daily contact with you into a ritual of return, and it never forgets where to flow. Now that you have spoken the sentence into your wallet, now that you have declared truth where there was once tension, what should you expect? What begins to move? What happens in the realm that most cannot see? I will tell you plainly, everything. Everything begins to shift. Everything begins to respond, not because of superstition, not because of chance, but because of law. The moment you speak with divine alignment, the moment you bless the symbol with spiritual authority, the field of your life begins to reorder itself around your word. The next 72 hours are not random, they are sacred. They are the space where reality begins to reflect your new rhythm. But here is the key. You must look with spiritual eyes. You must watch with awareness, because the signs of supply do not always come as sudden cash. They come as current. They come as clarity. They come as surprising ease, as unseen blocks removed, as answers appearing before you even ask. Within the first 24 hours, you may feel something shift in your chest, a lightness, a lift. The burden you've carried around money begins to dissolve. Your wallet feels different. Your energy toward receiving feels more open, more stable. You may get a small refund, a gift, a forgotten check. You may see a number change or hear a phrase that confirms what you've spoken. These are not coincidences. They are evidence. Within 48 hours, someone may offer to help you. A forgotten debt may return. An opportunity once delayed may come knocking. You may find an object, a person, or a conversation that was meant to reach you all along, but was blocked by your old atmosphere of fear. The atmosphere has now shifted. The law has been given new instructions, and form must follow. Within 72 hours, expect at least one external confirmation that your word has entered the field. Expect divine timing. Expect sudden peace. Expect the missing piece to reveal itself. And above all, expect the internal evidence, a sense that your wallet is no longer empty, even if no new cash has arrived yet, because substance fills form first. The spiritual blueprint updates before the material world catches up. But it always does, and when it does not trickle, it floods. Remember what Malachi 3:10 says, "Prove me now herewith, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it." You have just proven the law. You have spoken. You have declared. And now the windows are open. But here is your instruction. Do not interrupt the flow with fear. Do not cancel your decree with doubt. Do not measure the truth of your word by what you see on day one. Keep speaking, keep blessing, keep aligning. Because the field does not lie, it simply reflects what you carry consistently. Say this now. I expect divine evidence within 72 hours. I welcome it, I record it, I celebrate it, and I speak again. This is how you move from silence to circulation, from fear to flow, from waiting to receiving. And it begins now. Your wallet is no longer an object. It is a temple, a holy instrument, a symbol that carries your relationship with the invisible. And now that you have spoken into it, blessed it, and released the sentence into its chambers, you must begin the deeper work of reprogramming how your mind sees it, because you cannot hold it like a burden and expect it to behave like a blessing. You cannot curse it silently and expect it to fill faithfully. You must see it, treat it, and carry it as a vessel of divine flow. Every time you open your wallet, you must reprogram your inner response. Where there was once dread, replace it with declaration. Where there was once tension, replace it with tenderness. When you touch it, pause and remember, this is not a record of my past. It is a portal for my present. It does not matter what it has held before. It matters only what you declare it holds now. Say this aloud. This wallet is not empty. It is full of divine substance. It reflects my belief, not my balance. Most people have trained their subconscious to associate the wallet with pain. They flinch when opening it. They hesitate when reaching for it. They speak quietly when handing over a card, hoping the amount will be approved. All of this is unconscious programming, and all of it must be rewritten. Because you are not just reprogramming a mindset, you are installing a new identity, one who blesses, one who commands, one who governs supply by word. Here is your practice. From now on, when you pick up your wallet, smile. Before you open it, speak. Before you use it, bless. Do not wait for more money to arrive to treat it as holy. Treat it as holy now, and the money will arrive. Say over and over again, every time your hand touches it. This wallet is a magnet for divine supply. I bless its contents. I bless its expansion. I bless every dollar, and every dollar blesses me. This is not superstition. This is reprogramming. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between past and present. It only knows what it is told repeatedly with emotion. So tell it this. I am always fully supplied. My wallet is always full. I am never separate from flow. And soon it will become truth, not because it appeared out of nowhere, but because you spoke it into form. Do not let old language return. Do not speak of being broke. Do not joke about lack. The subconscious takes everything literally. When you declare lack, even in jest, you are withdrawing power from the law. But when you declare wealth, even before it arrives in the natural, you are aligning with divine rhythm. This wallet is not a container for your money. It is a container for your word, and your word is what money obeys. Say it one more time. My wallet is a temple. I speak only blessing into it. I expect it to overflow, and it shall. Now I give you a command, not as a burden, but as a blessing, not to control you, but to return control to you. You have listened, you have understood, you have felt the truth of the sentence stir in your soul. But now comes the proving ground, the demonstration, the obedience to law that makes you not just a hearer, but a speaker of divine reality. Here is the command. For the next 3 days, speak the sentence into your wallet 7 times a day. Not once, not casually, not when you remember, but rhythmically, intentionally, boldly. Every touch, every transaction, every moment of connection with your wallet is now a moment of spiritual dominion. And the sentence is this: divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Say it when you wake. Say it at lunch. Say it when paying for coffee. Say it when checking your account. Say it when you feel doubt trying to return. Say it when you remember your past. Say it when the world tries to remind you of limitation. Let this sentence become your sword and your shield. And I challenge you, yes, I challenge you, to speak it with the posture of someone who is not begging for money, but commanding spiritual order. I challenge you to walk into every store, every room, every moment of your day with the vibration of, I am fully supplied. And I do not mean arrogance, I mean alignment. I do not mean delusion, I mean dominion. You are not hoping it works, you are declaring that it already has. The challenge is not hard, it is holy. 7 times a day. Speak the sentence. Speak it slowly. Speak it with rhythm. Speak it with reverence. Speak it even when the fear voice rises, especially then. That is when the power of your spoken word multiplies. When doubt tries to speak, you drown it in decree. When hesitation tries to steal your rhythm, you overpower it with repetition. If you do this for 3 days, you will not be the same. Your wallet will not be the same. Your spiritual atmosphere will not be the same. Because law does not return void. Spirit does not delay. The moment you become consistent in speech, you become magnetic in supply. Say it now, right now. Put your hand on your wallet and speak. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Again, divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. And again, divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Let your bones feel it. Let your blood carry it. Let your field shift with it. You are not one who waits. You are not one who hopes. You are one who commands, and money listens. Now take the challenge, speak the law, and watch what obeys. Let us now seal this teaching with rhythm. Let us lock it into your field, your heart, your wallet, your atmosphere, with a current of truth that no fear can break, no doubt can disturb, and no appearance can shake. These are not nice sayings. These are not positive thoughts. These are spiritual hammers, spoken law, carved in rhythm, forged in fire, sent into the ethers to command form. Breathe deep, speak strong, do not whisper, declare. Say with me now, money obeys divine law. My wallet is always full. I live in rhythm with supply. I bless every dollar and every dollar blesses me. I do not chase, I attract. Divine substance knows where I am. There is no delay in divine mind. My supply comes richly, instantly, perfectly. I am a master of spoken wealth. I do not fear money, I govern it. Now say again the sentence that turns the symbol into supply, the vibration into form, the wallet into a wellspring. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. Say it again. Let it fill the room. Let it rewrite your nervous system. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. One more time, louder than doubt, stronger than fear, with the full force of your truth. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. You are no longer one who speaks against their own good. You are no longer one who fears their wallet. You are now one who blesses it, who speaks it full, who speaks it powerful, who speaks it obedient to divine flow. This wallet is never empty again. This field is never dry again. This supply is never delayed again. Why? Because you have spoken. You have spoken. You have remembered. You have reactivated the current that was always yours, but that waited in silence for your decree. And now you stand at the edge of a new reality, a reality that is not based on effort, hustle, or lack, but on law, on word, on divine rhythm. You are not the same person who opened this message. You have reprogrammed your field, reclaimed your wallet, and restored your relationship with the source of all supply. And now I invite you, not with marketing, not with persuasion, but with power. Declare it below. Write the sentence that rewired your atmosphere. Type it into the comments, not for me, but for you, for the law, for the unseen, so that heaven and earth may bear witness. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways by perfect law without delay. Make it public. Not as a performance, but as a spiritual contract. Let your word become your vow. Let your comment be a decree carved into digital stone. Your sentence is now your seed, and that seed will return a harvest. And if this voice, this truth, this spiritual rhythm aligns with your soul, subscribe. Not for information, but for continuation. Stay near this current. Let this channel be your daily rhythm, your temple of remembrance, your field of daily realignment. This is not content. This is covenant. Because you are no longer one who lacks. You are no longer one who forgets. You are no longer one who opens their wallet in fear. You are one who speaks. You are one who governs. You are one who blesses and is blessed beyond measure. Say it one last time, as a seal upon your life. Divine substance fills this wallet now. Money flows to me in perfect ways, by perfect law, without delay. And so it is. You are not far from your good. You are not locked out of your destiny. The delay you feel, the ache of unfulfilled desire, the silence of heaven, none of these are punishments. They are invitations, invitations to speak. Because what you want is not being withheld. It is being held for the moment you remember who you are and say the word. One sentence. One sentence spoken with rhythm, with certainty, with divine alignment can collapse the gap between what you long for and what you live in. It is not effort that manifests your good. It is not striving. It is not waiting. It is the word. Most people bury their desires in doubt. They silence their longing with logic. They postpone their inheritance because they do not know how to declare it. They speak of what they want, but they do not speak to it. They do not call it forth. They do not give it shape. And so the desire, pure and holy as it is, remains in the realm of the unseen. It hovers. It lingers. It waits for a sentence strong enough to give it form. Desire is not weakness. Desire is divine instruction. It is a telegram from the infinite. It is God speaking through the soul, saying, "This is what I have for you. Now say yes." Not with passivity, not with apology, but with a holy sentence, a sentence that commands without fear, that governs without force, that calls reality into order by divine law. Let me be very clear. You do not need to beg for what is already yours. You do not need to climb mountains or pass tests to receive what God has already prepared. You need only to speak it, and not just speak it, but speak it as law. Speak it with the full spiritual backing of heaven. Speak it with the certainty that spirit responds not to emotion, not to timelines, but to alignment. You are one sentence away. One sentence from watching the clouds part. One sentence from seeing your demonstration appear. One sentence from stepping into the reality you've held in your heart for so long. One sentence from watching desire become substance. And I will give you that sentence. But not as a formula, not as a chant. I give it to you as a spiritual instrument, a weapon of truth, a key that fits the lock on your next reality. You will speak it not to test God, but to release the truth that has always been waiting within you. Because when the sentence is aligned, when the voice is clear, when the vibration is true, desire becomes form, and reality must obey. And so it begins. Desire is not temptation. Desire is not distraction. Desire is not selfishness. Desire is divine direction. It is heaven's whisper clothed in longing. It is God's will for your life speaking through your heart. So many people have been taught to distrust their desires, to fear them, to suppress them, to question them endlessly. But the soul knows what it came here for. The soul remembers. And desire is the holy echo of that remembrance. It is the map you were given before the veil of forgetfulness came down. The very word desire comes from the Latin desire, of the Father. What you long for, what keeps returning to your heart, what glows in your imagination when the world is quiet, that is not random. That is sacred. It is your blueprint, your divine assignment, your spiritual permission slip. And to ignore it is to block the very path heaven is trying to clear for you. The problem is not the desire. The problem is what you've been taught to believe about it. You've been told to be reasonable. You've been told to wait. You've been told it's not time, not realistic, not for people like you. But none of those voices come from spirit. They come from fear. And fear is not your master. Truth is, and the truth is this. Your desire is a prophecy. It is the beginning of the miracle, and the only thing missing is your word to bring it forth. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." It does not say delay them. It does not say deny them. It says give, because God is a giver, not a withholder. The desires you carry, when aligned with truth, are not accidents. They are instructions. They are glimpses of what is already yours in the invisible. But heaven will not force it upon you. It will not impose. It waits for your delight and your declaration. Desire is your compass. It points toward your appointed field, but it will not drag you there. You must walk. You must speak. You must stand up in the middle of your doubt, lift your head above the noise of fear, and say, "This is mine. This is holy. This is what I choose." And in that moment, the law begins to arrange. The invisible begins to take form. The current shifts. Not because the desire changed, but because you finally did. You stopped treating your desire as a problem and began treating it as prophecy. You stopped hiding it behind logic and started honoring it with speech. Say this now. My desire is divine. It is from God, and I walk in it without fear. You will never need to explain your desire again. Only speak it. Only align with it. Only govern it with truth. Because once spoken as law, your desire is no longer desire. It is reality in motion. Desire is holy. But left unspoken, it withers. Left doubted, it fades. Left buried beneath years of hesitation and mental rehearsal, it dies. Not because it wasn't real, not because it wasn't righteous, but because it was never declared. I have seen it too many times. A person hears the whisper of spirit within them, a business, a home, a love, a new chapter. It rises in their heart with fire and clarity. But instead of speaking it aloud, they weigh it, they analyze it, they measure it against logic, against other people's opinions, against old evidence of failure. And in that delay, the seed is never watered, the spark is never fed, and the divine invitation dissolves into the illusion of impossibility. Delay is the graveyard of desire, not because the desire was wrong, but because no one gave it voice. Law cannot operate on indecision. Spirit cannot materialize what has not been claimed. You may think you've been waiting on your dream, but in truth, your dream has been waiting on your word. Every time you say, "I'm not ready," you freeze the current. Every time you say, "Maybe someday," you turn away from the path. Every time you hesitate to speak what is truly yours, you postpone the fulfillment that was already prepared. The law of demonstration is not powered by longing, it is powered by language. Not silent yearning, but bold decree. Imagine a seed in perfect soil. All the nutrients are present. The sun is shining, the rain is coming. But the one thing missing, the command to grow. That seed remains potential, not because it lacked power, but because it lacked spoken permission. This is how most people live. Their life is full of divine potential, but none of it has been activated, because they are afraid to declare what they want, afraid to seem bold, afraid to be disappointed. But I say this to you, you are not responsible for making it happen. You are responsible for speaking it into motion. The law does the heavy lifting. Spirit arranges the details. But you must speak. You must begin the current. You must send the word forth like a spiritual architect drawing blueprints in the sky. Let me give you an image. The angels of demonstration stand beside you daily, waiting. They have their hands full of form, full of supply, full of perfect people and opportunities, but they cannot release it until your word matches the design. They will not act on confusion. They will not move on silence. They wait for the sentence, the one that says, I now receive what I desire. It comes in divine order, and it comes now. Every moment you delay your decree, you postpone the miracle. Not because God has withheld it, but because you haven't called it by name. So speak. Speak now. Say, my desire is ready. I speak it into form. I delay no more. The law is listening. The universe is waiting. And your good is closer than breath. All it needs is your voice. Here is the sentence. One sentence. One breath. One vibration that shifts everything. Not because it is clever, not because it is poetic, but because it is aligned with law. Say it slowly. Say it aloud. Let it echo into every corner of your spirit. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. Again, I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. This sentence is not a wish. It is a decree. It does not come from the intellect. It comes from the divine self. Each word is a gate, each phrase a lever in the machinery of heaven. When you say it, you step into the role of creator, not as one who hopes, but as one who governs, not as one who tries, but as one who commands by spiritual inheritance. Let us break it down, not to analyze, but to understand the law you're activating with your tongue. I now speak. This is the present tense command. You're not reflecting. You're not planning. You are declaring in this moment. Spirit only moves on now, not when you're ready, not when it's perfect. Now, the instant you speak, the blueprint goes forth. My desire into form. You are not asking for something outside yourself. You are speaking what is already known, already present in the invisible. And you are calling it into form. Form means structure, reality, material evidence. It means the demonstration is no longer theoretical. It is tangible. It appears in divine order, not rushed, not scattered, not chaotic. You are placing your desire in the hands of perfect timing. Divine order means that every detail will unfold with ease, precision, and harmony. Nothing forced, nothing missed, only alignment. By divine law, this is not personal effort. This is not wishful thinking. This is law. The law that says what is spoken in alignment must be fulfilled. You are invoking the machinery of spirit itself. The invisible substance is now commanded to take visible shape, not by your strength, but by the unfailing operation of divine law. Without delay. This is where fear is cast out. You are not waiting endlessly. You are not wondering. You are establishing rhythm. Without delay means you are ready, you are receptive, and the law has full permission to move quickly. Quickly, not because of force, but because of clarity. Now, do not just say this sentence once. Say it 3 times in the morning. Say it 3 times before sleep. Say it once every time you feel resistance, hesitation, or doubt. Let it become the default signal you send into the field. This is your new atmosphere. This is your vibrational location. Remember the scripture. Mark 11:24. What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. This is not a metaphor, it is law. Belief is not a feeling, it is a rhythm. And this sentence carries that rhythm. Speak it now. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. Speak it again. Let heaven record it. Let the angels act on it. Let law obey it. Because now the demonstration begins. Not someday, but now. Do not let the simplicity of this sentence deceive you. It is not a mere affirmation. It is a spiritual hammer, a divine decree, a rhythm that reorders your entire reality. And like any sacred tool, it must be used daily, faithfully, rhythmically, until the unseen responds with evidence. This sentence is not for occasional use. It is for daily dominion. It is to become your new spiritual habit, your internal compass, your spoken invitation to divine demonstration. Here is how to use it with power. First, speak it in the morning before you do anything else. Before your feet hit the floor, before your mind remembers what day it is, let your first word not be worry, but law. Say it aloud, sitting up in bed or standing with your hand on your chest. Declare, I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order by divine law without delay. Let it program your day. Let it enter your cells. Let your nervous system know, today we govern reality. Second, speak it in the midday hours, especially when the momentum begins to wane, when doubt whispers, when distractions rise, when the mind wants to wander back to fear. Pause. Go somewhere private, or say it under your breath. Say it until you feel your posture return, until your focus sharpens, until your desire feels real again. Third, speak it before you sleep. Let it be the final vibration you place into your subconscious before it begins its holy night work. The subconscious is your silent servant. It obeys the last command it receives before rest, so give it the right instruction, not confusion, not anxiety, but the sentence, I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order by divine law without delay. Fourth, speak it in moments of action. Before sending the email, before making the phone call, before walking into the meeting, before posting the video. Let every step be preceded by decree. You are not reacting to life anymore. You are commanding it. You are not hoping for the best. You are speaking the best into form. And here is your final instruction. Do not change the sentence. Do not water it down. Do not bend it to fit fear. Speak it exactly as it is, pure, powerful, precision-tuned to the laws of the invisible. Every word matters. Every syllable is a lever. Do not touch the formula, only activate it. Remember, the sentence is not powered by your mood. It is powered by your faithfulness. Say it when you feel strong. Say it when you feel doubtful. Say it when nothing is happening. Say it until something does, because something always does. Write it on a card. Put it on your mirror. Keep it in your phone. Let it live in your mouth until it lives in your world. Let it become so familiar that the moment you feel off-center, your spirit begins to repeat it before your mind even remembers. You are not doing this to prove something. You are doing it because the law moves when your word aligns. And when you use this sentence daily, you are no longer a wanderer. You are a governor. No longer a beggar. You are a speaker of divine law. Say it now with full authority. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. This is how you walk. This is how you win. This is how you turn desire into reality. Not once, but again and again. When you speak this sentence, heaven listens. Law moves. The invisible begins to organize, not with hesitation, not with struggle, but with a precision that defies logic and defies time. What takes years by human effort can take hours when governed by spiritual command. And yet most people sabotage the demonstration by looking too soon, by doubting too quickly, by measuring the invisible with visible eyes. But I tell you now, when you speak the sentence in truth, movement begins immediately. Whether you see it or not, the wheels turn, the current flows, the answer begins. In the first 24 hours, you may notice a shift in your body, a lightness, a sudden peace, a knowing that cannot be explained. You may receive a phone call, a confirmation, a strange alignment that proves spirit is working. You may sense a new confidence, a divine calm, a pull toward an action you've been avoiding. These are not small things. They are evidence. Do not dismiss them. Do not say, it's just coincidence. No, it's law. In the second day, you may notice people responding differently to you, opportunities circling closer, ideas becoming clearer. You may find yourself suddenly bold, no longer asking for permission, no longer explaining your desire to people who never carried your vision. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are finally walking with the vibration of someone who knows their word is law. By the third day, your reality may begin to shift. The email arrives, the door opens, the burden lifts. You feel the clarity of, this is mine, not in theory, but in tangible movement. And even if the form is not complete, the evidence is undeniable. The fog lifts, the delay breaks, the demonstration breathes its first breath in the seen world. And if you see nothing yet, do not retreat. Do not unravel the word with your fear. Do not say, it didn't work, because the law does not delay. It unfolds in divine order. And divine order is never late, never random, never out of sync. The only question is whether you will remain faithful to your sentence long enough for the reality to match it. Remember this scripture from Habakkuk 2:3. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. That is not contradiction, it is truth. If it appears to delay, it is not delay, it is unseen precision. The form is aligning, the details are obeying your decree, and it will come, surely, unfailingly, in divine order by divine law, without delay. Say now in rhythm, I am not late, my desire is not denied, my word is already at work. If you stay steady, if you keep the sentence alive with faith, if you resist the temptation to speak doubt in between declarations, your reality will turn, not slowly, not partially, but completely, because your word, when spoken in law, cannot return void. And so it is. The mind is not sovereign. It is programmable. It is malleable. It will believe whatever you speak to it often enough with emotion and rhythm. The mind does not care if the thought is empowering or destructive. It only obeys repetition. And most people do not realize they have trained their mind to doubt, to fear, to expect delay, to plan for disappointment. They do not know that every time they say, it's not working, or I don't know how, they are engraving that belief deeper into the walls of their own consciousness. But today, you break that cycle. Today, you reprogram the inner chamber of your mind with one powerful sentence that no fear can survive. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. This sentence is more than a prayer. It is a rhythm, a script, a holy code that, when repeated often enough, becomes your new subconscious belief, not through effort, through rhythm, through saturation, through spoken law. When the mind begins to waver, repeat the sentence. When fear arises, repeat the sentence. When appearances contradict your vision, repeat the sentence. When nothing seems to be moving, repeat the sentence. Do not argue with the mind. Do not try to suppress fear. Simply replace it with truth. The mind cannot hold two opposing ideas in the same space for long. When the truth is stronger, it casts out the lie. When your rhythm is louder than the fear dissolves. And once the mind is reprogrammed, the demonstration becomes inevitable. Let me give you a practice. Every hour, on the hour, stop and speak the sentence 3 times. Feel it. Embody it. Don't rush it. Let each word strike the ground of your old beliefs like a bell. Say it until it no longer feels like a sentence you are speaking, but a reality you are remembering. Say it until your nervous system adjusts to the vibration of certainty. Say it until your doubt becomes foreign and your word feels like home. Reprogramming is not about force. It is about rhythm. Just as a song can change your mood in seconds, this sentence can change your internal programming over hours, days, weeks. But only if you speak it as law, as identity, as non-negotiable spiritual truth. Let your mind hear this now. This is who I am. I am one who speaks and receives. I am one who governs through the word. I am one who calls desire into form and sees it appear. The repetition is not childish, it is divine. Jesus said in Matthew 6:7, "Do not use vain repetitions." Vain means empty. But this is not empty. This is alive. This is encoded with truth. This is a repetition that fills, not one that drains. And every time you say it, you are not just hoping, you are installing new law into the fabric of your being. Your subconscious now knows what to do. It has its new assignment. Your job is simple. Speak the sentence, and do not stop until the world responds. Now I give you a command, not as pressure, but as power, not as a burden, but as a bridge. For too long, you have waited for a sign to speak. Now you must speak to create the sign. For too long, you have waited for proof before you would declare. But the law of spirit is this: your declaration is the proof. The spoken word is the evidence that you trust divine order, even when appearances still lie. So here is your challenge. For the next 3 days, yes, 3, you will speak the sentence 12 times each day, not 5, not 7, 12, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening, 3 before sleep, and not mechanically, not softly. You will speak it with rhythm, with heart, with breath, with belief. The sentence again is, I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. Each time you speak it, you are not repeating like a student. You are commanding like a sovereign soul. You are instructing reality. You are issuing orders to the invisible. You are saying to your desire, you are not a fantasy. You are a form, and you come forth now. This is not stubbornness. It is spiritual maturity. It is time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. It is time to stop excusing your delay with spiritual-sounding language. I'm waiting on God, people say. But God has been waiting on you, on your voice, on your clarity, on your decree. I challenge you to walk through your day as a spiritual general. Before every task, whisper the sentence under your breath. Before every challenge, speak it with renewed fire. Before every step forward, let the ground hear the sound of your word. The atmosphere will shift. The people around you will feel it. The invisible will take shape around you because your vibration will no longer say, maybe. It will say, now. And when the old thoughts return, and they will, when the whispers of delay or fear or unworthiness try to rise, you do not entertain them. You do not analyze them. You override them. You replace them. You speak the sentence louder. You return to the rhythm. You step back into your authority. Say this aloud now, wherever you are. I accept this challenge. I speak with fire. I speak with faith. I speak until the form appears. This is how you change timelines. This is how you interrupt patterns. This is how you bring desire out of hiding and into visibility. Not with force, not with noise, but with repetition rooted in law. 3 days, 12 times a day. That is your sacred assignment. And I promise you this, by the end of it, you will not only see signs of movement, you will have become someone who cannot be denied. Why? Because the universe does not argue with aligned command. It only delivers what has already been spoken. And now you have spoken it. Now we anchor it all, not with emotion, but with rhythm, not with noise, but with declaration. This is not a time for casual thoughts or quiet hope. This is the hour to stamp your vibration into the field with words so aligned, so law-rooted, so spiritually undeniable that reality must conform. These affirmations are not encouragement, they are activation. Say them aloud, not in a whisper, not in doubt, but with the voice of someone who knows that every word forms a mold reality must fill. Say, my desire is divine. My word is law. What I speak appears. I am not waiting. I am receiving. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order by divine law without delay. Again, desire is not outside me. It is the voice of spirit within me. I do not chase. I do not beg. I decree. The moment I speak, the invisible begins to shape. My sentence is a spiritual blueprint. Spirit builds instantly. I walk in truth. I speak in rhythm. I receive in law. Now say it again. The sentence that shifts timelines. The sentence that tears the veil between longing and fulfillment. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order by divine law without delay. Say it again. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. And once more, with breath and fire, I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. This is your new foundation. This is your new frequency. Let these words circulate in your bloodstream. Let them rise through your spine. Let them echo through your home. Let them replace every sentence of fear you ever learned. You are no longer one who wishes. You are no longer one who waits. You are one who speaks and watches it appear. You have spoken. You have remembered. You have turned the lights back on in the sacred chamber of your authority. And now you must continue. Not out of pressure, but out of rhythm. Not out of fear, but out of faith. The sentence has been given, the path is clear, and the current is flowing. Do not return to silence. Do not return to spiritual amnesia. Keep speaking. Keep commanding. Keep creating. If these words stirred you, if the sentence called something in you back to life, then I ask only this. Declare it publicly. Not for performance, not for validation, but as a mark of spiritual agreement. Type it now, right here. I now speak my desire into form. It appears in divine order, by divine law, without delay. Write it as your vow, your signature, your spiritual contract with law. Let it live in the comments not as noise, but as sacred record, a testament that you did not just listen, but you spoke. And if this voice, this rhythm, this truth has anchored you, stay close. Subscribe not to consume, but to remain aligned. Return daily. Let this channel be your temple of remembrance. Let every video return you to your throne. Because you are not just a listener. You are not a seeker anymore. You are a speaker, a sovereign, a spiritual architect who now understands desire is not something to chase, it is something to command. Speak it, repeat it, live it, and watch what appears. It is already done, and so it is.